I don't know that the Cowboys are better.
No.
And the Eagles played two nice opponents so far. They played a Giant team. I mean, they played a New England team on the road that kind of had them on the ropes in rain in a hostile environment that they went into, and they got out of there with a W. Statistically, it wasn't great. They still got out of there with a W. They go home against a Minnesota team that has some firepower on the offensive side of the ball. They kind of took care of business on the defensive side of the ball. Offensively, they did exactly what I always say you should do. Rush for over 200 yards. Keep your quarterback somewhere in that, 17, 18 of 25 range, a touchdown. He did throw the one interception that I'm sure we would all like to have back. But when you look at that recipe, you're going to win a lot of games. You don't have to be a star-studded offense throwing the ball all over the lot like the Minnesota Vikings did, 300-plus yards, and lose. That doesn't help you. This recipe with Jalen Hurts, when he stuck his head in there and threw the deep post to Devontae Smith and stood in the gun barrel right down the face, they needed to hit when they needed to hit. They did that. You can't tell me that you wouldn't take 259 yards rushing and a quarterback going 18 to 23 for 200 and a touchdown and two touchdowns on the ground. You wouldn't take that and run home with it. I don't know why you think they look worse than the Dallas Cowboys. I don't know why you would think Dallas looks slightly better. Is it because Dallas's defense took care of Daniel Jones on the road with a team that was inferior, not nowhere near Skip as the talent level? Is that why you think that?
Well, I'll let Playmaker go
You have
first.
40 minutes to 20, that time of possession, Eagles, because they were running the football. Now, Keith, let me tell you why we are sitting here saying this.
Yes.
Let me crack your cranium and fertilize your brain and help you see things the right way. The Minnesota Vikings kept saying, here you go, Eagles. Here go the ball. Take the ball back. They kept turning the ball over. And you're turning the ball over. Later in this game, there's still a one-score game. It ends up still a one-score game. Key, I know it's only week 2, but our job right here is to assess everything each week. And as Skip said, right now, we talked about the top 3 teams in the NFC. And Minnesota Vikings was supposed to be on that next level down. It's the Eagles, the Niners, and how about them Cowboys?
How about
Let's be real here. And if we start picking that order right now, when we thought it was going to be the Eagles coming out the box, I was the first one to say
They out the box, man. They 2-0. What are you looking for?
Yeah, but we don't just count the win. We see how you win and talk about it, too. And how they won. 4 turnovers, and you still are in this game.
I have to bring order to you and Skip in these Cowboy situations, man, because y'all get way delusional. You talk about they handing the ball back to the Eagles. They handed the ball.
Right.
You're creating that havoc just like the Cowboys was getting sacks on an offensive line that was horrible because the Cowboys created that. They created those mismatches. That happens.
That wasn't no mismatch when Justin Jefferson bust that dude's ankles and then lost the ball when he was trying to stretch it over the end. The Eagles ain't do nothing for that. That was just a gift from heaven, and it was manna rained down upon the Eagles. That's all that was.
That particular play, yes. But that happens in football, on that particular play.
I am as big a Jalen Hurts fan as you will find. The moment they took him, I tweeted that he will change life in Philadelphia, and he will immediately be better than Carson Wentz. Where is Carson Wentz now? I don't know. I heard for years how great Carson Wentz was. He's not even in the league right now. I give you all you said about 259 yards rushing because the quarterback ran it 12 times. I'm not sure how long the quarterback's going to last running 12 times every game.
Well, he's lasting right now.
He's lasting right now, and they got it going on offense because they have the formula. They have the recipe, 2-5-9. It controls the clock. It eats the clock.
Right.
They had the ball last night for 39 minutes to only 21 for Kirk Cousins and company. But now let's flip it around and look at the defense. We have the best defense in pro football. They have a flawed defense that is gettable. It is torchable because even we, with Dak Prescott at quarterback last year on Christmas Eve at Jerry World, hung 40 on that defense, 40,
Skip.
and Dak threw for 347 yards with 3 touchdowns. Kirk Cousins, think about this. Last night, he only had the ball for 21 minutes. That means, what are the plays? 55 plays to 75 for the Eagles. In just 21 minutes of action, Kirk Cousins threw for 364 yards and 4 touchdowns without a pick. That's Kirk Cousins in 21 minutes.
And they lost.
And you know what? I would be horrified.
Of the turnover.
Yeah, because they turned it over
If they didn't
4
turn it over-
times.
Okay, it was one turnover that was a gift. The Justin Jefferson one. That was a gift. I give you that. That was a gift.
Right.
But then there's other turnovers
That's
that
like
was not
7
gifts.
points to no
Yeah, but
points, right?
That's like that was the only gift. The rest of them were not gifts.
It still
You
came
talk
down
about-
to an onside kick. I mean,
Yeah,
come
late
on.
in the game.
And that's
late
what
in the
I'm
game.
saying.
It was
That's
about
what
14 in
I'm
the
saying.
fourth quarter. Skip, you mentioned their defense. They got a new defensive coordinator. You do understand that, right?
Thank you.
They got a
You're
new
making our
defensive
case.
coordinator.
And a
They
new
got
offensive coordinator.
And a new offensive coordinator.
And there is the
In
problem.
the second week of the season, they're 2-0 with another 15 games to go.
Okay.
Let me tell
They're
you.
going to eventually all get on the same page. I understand, y'all
I
Cowboys,
hope so.
y'all don't want
I
to see
hope
this.
so.
Y'all don't want to see it. Y'all do not want to see the Eagles get on the same page. Y'all just don't want to see it because they will be a better team than the Dallas Cowboys.
Well, first, you don't know that. You don't know that.
But you know that Dallas is going to be better than the Eagles.
No, I know. What I know is they're better right now.
I'm not going to say that,
I know
Michael.
we see.
I'm not going to say that.
You see the games on the football
I
field.
saw
That's
them
why
play against the
we got
Giants.
information.
The Giants made the playoffs and won a playoff game.
And what Minnesota?
And
That same
Minnesota,
team
they-
you talked about. They beat Minnesota in the playoffs.
Minnesota got a new defensive coordinator, too.
But-
Just so that you know.
Yeah, but
we
he's
talk-
really good at what he
we
does.
talk about.
No, he's a good DC, but he's new.
We
to
talking
that team.
about the offensive coordinator, and they got different defensive coordinator.
Yeah,
but the offensive coordinator, let me tell
Brian
you something.
Johnson.
Why you seeing what you're seeing now? And I really, you remember we went from Norv Turner, but when we got after winning Super Bowls with Norv, we lost our offensive coordinator. I was worried. I was like, oh my God, man, is this new guy going to understand how this team functions? But we went from the student to the teacher.
You did.
Right.
Zambezi.
We went from Norv to Ernie. So, and Norv had already shared to Ernie how to run the offense. Now, when we went from Ernie to Chan Gailey, that's when I was A.J. Brown.
Yeah, you
This
turned
ain't
into A.J.
good.
Right.
This ain't
We're going to
good.
talk about that in a few minutes.
Right. This
Yeah.
ain't good.
No,
So
you
what I'm
turned
saying-
into Keyshawn Johnson.
Well, I
is what
turned
you
into
turned
Keyshawn Johnson when we see. But what I'm saying, what I'm saying to you is, you got, when you get new coordinators, you think, it'll keep going and keep going.
I understand
They
that.
got to understand pecking order and how that team
takes
functions and how it
time
runs.
to get there. Brian Johnson's been on the staff. It just takes time to get into that role and eventually understand, like you're saying, Michael. But they 2-0. They're 2-0. One win in New England on the road, and New England's
let
a
me tell
decent
you what
football
worries
team.
me.
And then
Right.
at Minnesota, they had a 14-point lead late in the fourth quarter.
After the game, they were interviewing Jalen Hurts, and he said on the show, he said, yeah, this is definitely a work in progress.
Yes.
And we're still
He
working
did.
on it.
Yes.
And no, but these guys have been together, and I was thinking I would hear something like, hey, we've been together a while, we know each other, we're comfortable with each other, there's some things we have to work out. When I hear the main man, the quarterback, who this offense is built around, is saying there's definitely some things we got to work out, then it means it's affecting this team in a greater way.
They're 2-0, Michael.
They are.
Okay? They went on the road to New England, won the game, got back on the plane, went to Philly, played Minnesota last night, had a 14-point cushion late in the fourth quarter.
Stop
Okay.
it. When other teams win, it's just about the win. When the Cowboys win, it's how they won or how did they not win. We break it all the way
What is the
down.
first thing I said, Skip? When the Cowboys beat down the Giants, I said they are good. That defense is solid and sound. The offense
it's
doesn't need
beyond
to do
solid.
The offense didn't need to do anything. The offense stinks. Richard screaming and hollering at me and Skip about the offense being bad. I gave them credit. I gave the Cowboys credit. I'm just saying, Michael and Skip, that Jalen Hurts did exactly what he needed to do within that game plan for that game. Both of y'all know you don't go into the different games with the same game plan.
Yep.
Every game is a different game plan. Tomorrow, they may throw the ball 50 times because they can. The next week, they may run it 50 times because they can.
Keyshawn, that game was a lie last night. That game was fraudulent. It was misleading. Kirk Cousins is as sackable and strip sackable as any quarterback in football. You know it, and I know it.
They all are when they're not looking.
Especially him. You know what? I got to say this about Kirk Cousins. I know you loved him last year, but this is just me. There are times during games, I'm watching Kirk Cousins, it looks like he's some dude that they went up in the stands and got right before kickoff, and they threw a uniform on him, and they gave him a helmet that's too big, because his helmet looks way too big for his body. And he stands in the pocket like a scarecrow, you know, like he's got no strength. Jalen Hurts is a statue in the pocket, man. He is a pillar in the pocket. This guy is,
different QBs.
Okay, so now Kirk Cousins has already lost 3 fumbles in 2 games. You can't win like that.
That's not the Philadelphia Eagles' fault.
Okay,
they did what they were supposed to do.
But you can't go on the road and cough it up 4 times. You're going to lose.
But guess what? I made you cough it up because my defenders are
the Brandon Powell thing is just careless.
Key, the question comes down to this, Key. You can't depend on making someone cough that ball up 4 times a game.
I can depend on my defense.
So what I'm saying, if Minnesota holds on this ball, now I'll give you that strip sack. I'll give you the strip sack.
I cannot.
But if they focus, there's a difference between the defense making great plays and the offense making focused plays. There's a difference. Which help that play down on the goal line. That was on Justin Jefferson.
Now,
the strip sack I give it. That fumble, the running back running, that's on the running back. Cover the ball. That's not. It's not some devastating play that the defense made. Is what I'm saying.
You don't think that defender came around on the right-hand side and chopped it out?
Every he tackled the guy. That's all I'm saying.
Of course he tackled him. He made him fumble.
Okay. You want you got it. You don't want to see the reality. No. Are you saying right now?
You don't stop
let's ask the question. Give me the top 3 teams in the NFC. Give me your order. No. I know. Don't just holler at you. Give me your order. Give me your order.
49ers.
All of this noise, but don't prove our point.
49ers.
Prove our point.
Eagles.
Oh, stop.
Cowboys.
Stop. You just did that to make this just a bad situation. You know darn well you don't got the Eagles in front of the Cowboys.
I do have them in front of them and had them in front of them at the beginning of the year.
Keyshawn, better defense, Dallas or Philadelphia?
Dallas.
It's like by far better to me. It's significantly better.
Put it this way. Their defensive outing in their one game is much more superior than the Eagles' defense in their 2 games.
And offensively, I'll give you that Philly is slightly better on offense, but only slightly better just because they're devastating.
I'm not going to say.
No.
I don't know that yet.
I'll go slightly better in a run game. I'm not saying better in the offense.
I don't know that yet.
Because we're going to talk about this. They over there playing with one hand tied behind their back. They playing with Devontae Smith. A.J. Brown is tied behind their back. So their offense ain't giving it better than the Cowboys right now.
No,
but the run game,
Cowboys' offense just this year alone,
but the run
game didn't do much, so I can't really. I can't really judge.
Okay, I'm giving them a slight edge only because they led the league in rushing last year, and I'm pretty sure they're going to do it again, right?
The Swift pickup was.
Okay, and I never loved him in Detroit, and Jameer Gibbs will be a slight upgrade. But remember, Swift is from Philly, and that was his night.
I'm saying to you, maybe his ability in Detroit didn't transfer the same way it will in Philadelphia.
Okay. Well, they almost have like a Kyle Shanahan offense where you can just plug a running back in, and they're going to get 125 yards.
Man, you're double capping though, man. You got a lot of, because you sitting here, you got a lot of script, man. You telling me, I'm stuck on these turnovers though. Because it's mind-boggling that you're looking at the video and you're watching the dude's fumble, and you acting as though the defender didn't create the fumbles.
But it's key when we go in the film room, we look at that. You're going to look at it and say, this wasn't anything great done by the defense. This is a lack of focus on the offense. That's all it is.
It just was.
A lack of focus.
It's not in the crowd to put. He's not. What do you think? He's John Riggins? He's not carrying the ball with 2 hands in the open field.
I know, but we're making the same point here. You were running. You saw the crowd. Protect the ball.
At some point, yes, but it was too late. It was too late.
Simple focus point.
And Kirk Cousins couldn't do nothing because of the offensive lineman got beat.
Now that's
clean.
a defensive play.
So
That's a
don't
defensive
call it
play.
a gift.
But that's a defensive
He
play.
called it a gift. Skip called it a gift.
It looks like they're going to score and go ahead.
But when you look
After
like when it
all
looks
of those
like
other turnovers,
but think
they're
about
about to get you
think
right
about
here.
it, Coach. When it looks like they're gonna score and go ahead, me as a defensive coordinator, I'm getting ready to call up my best rush.
He dialed it all up.
Dial my best rush up.
Dialed it all
I
up.
got this matchup I wanted.
Well,
My
what a
guy
big play.
beats him at the point of attack. Kurt's looking.
Get the
Everybody's covered downfield. As soon as he hits his back foot, the first thing, bam, ball's out.
Okay, but I'm going
Ball's
to
out.
remind you, he threw 4 touchdowns.
Doesn't matter.
He threw 4.
They still lost. He
Okay,
can throw
barely,
10.
barely.
They still lost.
Okay, so case closed. Dallas is better than Philadelphia. I think we just settled it,
amazing,
right? Thanks for watching, Undisputed fans. Do you want more highlights from the show? Make sure to click that subscribe button for all the exclusive content from Undisputed.